Hey guys, what's going on? Cyberfury here, bringing you guys some Last of Us gameplay. Yes, I'm finally able to sit down and share some beautiful gameplay with you guys. This is a 12, 9, and 3 supply raid on University. I'm using the silenced semi-automatic with the revolver as my backup, and you have to craft your other grenades and equipment, so that's still left to be desired. Anyway, in this gameplay, I want to just kind of discuss the multiplayer and my opinion on it, because this game has been out for 2 weeks, and I've been playing a lot of it, so I kind of know what I'm talking about when I talk about it, obviously. So anyway, let's begin. If you walk into this game thinking that it's Uncharted, you may be disappointed. It is not Uncharted. Uncharted is like an adrenaline rush on top of a sugar rush. It is just non-stop action. Go, 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 go. This game is not. This game you have to use a little more tactics with it to get around the map and to be silent. You have to use stealth. If you run in there guns blazing, you will not get the greatest outcome because you are very limited to what you have off the start. You only get 7 rounds in the semi-automatic and you get, I believe, only 1 clip in the revolver, so you get only 6 rounds there. You have to make each shot count. If you miss a shot, well, then that could be the end. End of you, I should say. So yeah, the pacing is not Uncharted. You have to use tactics. Now, along with tactics, you have to use teamwork. Teamwork is very important. You have to have people bandaging you, like you see here. You have to have people healing you, bandaging you, reviving you. And especially a great thing to do is to have call-outs. Let your teammates know where the other people are. Especially if you go down and there's a lot of people around you, you don't want your teammates running in there just to get mauled down by 3 or 4 guys. It's not fun and it just leads to frustration. So yes, let your teammates know. Maps. Now, this map is University. I believe this is probably what they would be considered as a large map. It's fairly large compared to, say, a map like Downtown. If you've seen any gameplay on Downtown, that's a fairly small map and doesn't really get played that much. But yeah, I think University and Lakeside would be considered the two biggest maps in the game. Even then, I think Lakeside might be medium sized, but that's besides the point. The maps. I think the maps are really well constructed. They have usually, obviously, 3 ways of getting to the enemy, but they usually have 2 sides where there are long lines of sight, and then you have center, which is kind of grouped up and have a little bit of closer combat. Now you might think that going down the middle would be the smartest choice, but it's not, because if you see here on University, both the side panels with both the sides, excuse me, with the long line have long lines of sight, but they're indoors and they're hard to see through from the middle. If you go up the middle, then you have your 12 o'clock and then both sides that can see you perfectly because it's kind of out in the open. So you kind of have to think about where you're going and why you're going that way. Another thing with the maps are they are well constructed and they do provide plenty of cover space. They provide plenty of close quarters and long quarter engagements, as I said before. And overall, I think they're just really well constructed compared to other games that may not have the best maps. Now, weapons. I'm using the silenced semi-automatic, which is probably my favorite weapon in this game, and I'm paired it with the revolver. Now, there's also a 9mm and what they call a shorty, which I believe is just a sawed-off shotgun, and those weapons do really well in close quarters. But the I want to call it an M9, but it's not. The 9mm and the revolver are really good for long range engagements, as well as the semi-automatic. But, nothing's perfect. They all have their downsides. The revolver kicks a little more, but it only takes 3 shots to down someone, whereas the 9mm, it doesn't have that much recoil, so it's easy to get at long range, but it takes I'd say, 5 or 6 shots to down someone, so it takes almost double the time. So it depends on where you are and how great of a shot you are. You can probably down someone in 1 or 2 shots, depending on if they hit the head or not. There is also a burst rifle and a hunting rifle, which is pretty much your sniper rifle, and a bow, which is I don't know. I don't know how I feel about the bow. I really like the bow, but I find that a lot of people that use it, they like to camp with it, and it just doesn't make that fun because it's 2 shots to down it. It's the same amount as the hunting rifle, and it acts like the silenced hunting rifle because A, you don't get spun out on the map, and B, it's a lot quicker reload to grab just to grab another bullet and bring it back to fire rather than having to reload the chamber and pull the bolt back and then put it back in again. So I think it really has a big advantage over the hunting rifle for those reasons. Now there are purchasable weapons in this game as well, and they come at a cost of, I believe, a certain amount of parts, which you get from pretty much kills. So it's like spending your experience points almost to get another weapon. Now, from what I've seen so far, it seems like the assault rifle, the fully automatic weapon, has been the favorite, I guess, among fans, and that's been used a lot. And I've also seen the shotgun being used a lot, and I think one guy bought a machete once. But from what I know, there is the assault rifle, a shotgun, machete, flamethrower, and I'm missing a couple. I'm sorry for that, but I'll have to try and get back. I'll probably put like a little thing on the screen when I find out, or something like that, because it's just off my top of my head. I don't really know what are all in the game. So yeah, moving aside from weapons, customization. Now, character customization is fairly well done, actually, compared to what they could have just done. Where it's like, oh, here's your character, here's the game, goodbye. Oh, you don't like the multiplayer? Well, it's a first-person experience. It's a single-player experience. But I feel like they've actually done a well job. You have now it's not as customizable as Uncharted 3, which is just to compare it to the last. It's more like a Uncharted 2, but a little more personal. So in Uncharted 3, you could choose your shirt, a face, and a hat, that kind of thing. And in Uncharted 2, you can only choose which character you wanted based on the single player. But in this game, you have a default character which is randomized. It's either a female or a male. It's just randomized at the beginning of the round. But you can choose a hat and a face guard, and then that's pretty much all you get to customize, like person wise. But you also get to customize your emblem, which you see on the back of my backpack right there. You get to customize that fully, but it's nothing like it's kind of like the Uncharted in a way, the same emblem editor, where you just get you get layers and you just lay a couple things on top of each other and there you go. All right, so customization is a little lacking, but clans and challenges. Now, clans are people you accumulate through what do you call it, doing well in games, gathering enough supplies, and gathering in excess of supplies. And it's with these clans that you get to unlock stuff with. So you can, if you get a certain amount of people in a clan, then you can unlock this. Or if you get certain after 12 weeks, then you can unlock this. That's pretty much how it works. And you have challenges, like if you don't get a certain amount of like you get to choose a challenge. So if you don't get enough downs, then the hunters or the fireflies, depending on what side you take, will kill off all your people or just a certain amount of people. And it's really just a way to scare you into doing well. And that's how that works. I'll go more in depth. Um, Maybe I'm not sure. But here's the ending of the game anyway. This guy tries to punch the wall and just sit down. But yeah, quickly on the note, I will probably do a more in-depth on the multiplayer. This is pretty much just my rundown of it and my opinion on it, which I think it's a really well done experience, and I've been thoroughly enjoying it, and I've been playing it nonstop for like the last 2 weeks. So anyway, that's the end of the gameplay. I will see you guys later. Peace.